Alright, welcome back to Werewolf the Apocalypse. And the first thing I do is not be able to pronounce apocalypse. That's a good start. And this is a myth machine. Do follow and click on everything. We need like a prayer to the algorithm gods that I can just say out loud every time so I don't stumble on all those words all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
A prayer to the Weaver.
Yes, a prayer to the Weaver, exactly.
If you get words wrong, you're Swedish, you speak an actual language, and you're speaking goblin talk right now.
Fair.
Or for the algorithm, you could just get a Q code, hold it up to the camera, and it hacks into it.
Offra till maskingudarna. There we go.
Ja.
Ett blot. Who would be the Norse god of machines? Tyr? Who's the inventor god? Or is it Odin because he's so wise? I don't even know.
No, the only artificer god I know is Hephaestus.
Yeah, but he's Greek. Anyway, this show is rated R because we're gonna deal with mature subject matter here. Horrible people doing horrible things to other people. And so on. We haven't actually we've had some examples of horrible things, even in the background, haven't we?
Yeah.
For example, someone was trying to abduct Jake.
Yeah.
In the background, and that's when he turned Krynos and just made mincemeat out of them.
Yeah, just went sicko mode on them.
Yeah. All right. Who are we here today, everybody?
I suppose I'll start.
Yes.
Hello, I'm Dominic, or Domi for short. I'm playing Bryce, the radical Black Fury Philodox.
I'm Roger. I'm playing Miles Lincoln, Glasswalker Galliard, New York Bohemian.
Indeed.
Hi, I'm Ender, and I'm playing Miranda Blackpool, Sparring Architect from Queens, and the Urge of the Glasswalkers.
I'm El Duende, pronouns any all. I am playing Jake Stromfeld, Get of Fenris Arun.
Indeed. And these young people who have not yet gone through their rite of passage are about to go through their rite of passage. Let's make this a bit more complicated, shall we? Just a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
For example, how on earth did you end up here in the Arctic Wasteland of somewhere far north where it's extraordinarily cold? We're talking minus probably 15, 20 in centigrade, which is what, 0
You mean
Fahrenheit?
Celsius?
Something, yeah.
Yeah.
Centigrade.
Yeah, Celsius. Centigrade is also a thing Americans say. Stumbling through the snow with nothing but basically the clothes on your body and no idea of where to go next. To really drill into how that happened, the morning light is coming and at least some warmth will be there for you, which is lovely. But to drill into why this happened, I feel like we need to go back in time a little bit to what you will in the future consider a much cozier place. A warehouse in New York. Yeah, that's much warmer. Where you have just arrived, dropped off by mentors or instructors from your respective tribes, and with nothing but each other for company, basically. Yay.
Yep.
And last time we basically left off here, where you were going to, you introduced yourself, and that was basically it. So, from there to very cold forest. We'll see how that connects, won't we?
We're all already dressed for a New York winter, so how much worse could it be?
A Canadian winter.
Oh, God.
Oh,
Well,
no.
good thing my character already has experience with winters upstate, like upstate New York. What with the survival,
Yeah, it could actually get pretty cold in upstate New York, absolutely. Here
we're
you
not
are,
that far off.
Here we are staring at each other. Awkward silence. 4 young people in their
Well,
late
apparently we've been
teens.
stuck in this warehouse for a week.
Well, you will
I'm
be
pretty
stuck
sure all
in
the
this-
small talk's been burned through.
I'm feeling that's exactly the question here. How awkward are we gonna make this for a week? You're supposed to be meditating on your coming ordeal somehow.
Yeah. Jake, being played by me, has no patience, so he's just gonna yap to the rest of his pack.
Yeah. And what is
Also-
he yapping about?
Oh, talking about his life, asking the others about their lives, just making small talk. And generally speaking, being friendly, even though 2 of them are glasswalkers.
I'll protect you. Or what?
Yeah.
Like,
Hey, I'm gonna be stuck with these guys for the foreseeable future. I shouldn't be hostile or standoffish.
yeah, possibly the rest of your life.
Yeah,
In
exactly.
1990, reality shows aren't a thing right now yet. But in 15 years, you would definitely ask yourself if this whole thing was a reality show. Yeah. It's like
That's fair.
Big Brother Werewolf Edition.
I guess Miranda's just going to be like, she will try to at least attempt meditation, but that just means she's going to cross her legs and close her eyes near the door and try to listen into all the conversations happening outside their room.
Yeah, there will be conversations. This is not your typical environment for meditative calm, I would imagine.
Yeah, no, she's going through the motions, but it's merely just she wants to hear gossip from whatever's happening outside, the people who actually know what's happening.
Oh, they're not gossiping enough for you to hear, unfortunately. Apparently someone is smart enough to keep them away from the warehouse if they're gonna be spilling beans about what's gonna happen to you guys.
By the way, how old is everyone? Just roughly.
Alright.
Um,
Jake is 17.
Okay.
Miles is 18.
I think I said 19, if I remember
Oh
correctly.
my god, you're so old, Bryce.
I'm so old.
That's what 17-year-olds think about 19-year-olds.
Mm-hmm.
I think I was
This-
19 as well because I just finished school.
Hmm.
You finished school?
The older women of the group, then. Yeah.
Hashtag MILFs.
Not yet, they're not.
I know.
Usually.
Oh, the whole thing of this 17-year-old saying, "Oh yeah, I'll protect you," and I'm like, "Sure, dude."
Don't forget
you do
he's
that.
also the shortest in the group, also.
I mean, he is pretty beefy, so there's that.
Didn't we agree to that Bryce is supposed to be taller than you? Or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That does
funny
make
thing
a lot of
is-
sense.
Because just as you were talking about what height everybody is, I put my cursor over Jake. Because it actually measures the distance away from you, it just clicked up 7 feet.
Bryce is about as beefy as Jake, actually. If we just go by strength
Miranda's
and
probably on the
stamina.
smallest. Miranda's pretty on the smaller side. She's only 5'6".
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. I'm thinking Jake's roughly 5'8" or 5'7".
I'm thinking Miles is thin as a stick as well, given his stamina.
Got wiry strength.
Yeah, but he's a glass jaw. If you hit him too hard, Miles is gonna just crumble immediately. He's definitely the one with the smallest health track of all of you.
And just
Obviously-
imagine
Yeah, go
all
ahead.
the beefier tribes, their insulting name for the glasswalkers probably is the glass jaws.
It might be. I can see that. I can definitely see that.
So Bryce would be 5'9" or 180 centimeters tall.
So she's the tallest of you all. That's pretty
Apparently.
cool. Yeah. She's looking down on you, Jake. Just because she's taller, not literal, not metaphorically. It's a literal thing. Anyway.
Look, I
Or
wouldn't
am
put
I?
the
No.
question down metaphorically.
But in this case, a week is going to give you so many opportunities to get to know each other's personalities deeply, including maybe the most annoying parts. How much cabin fever can a group of teenagers who are not allowed to go outside for a week it's not freezing in the warehouse, obviously. There's enough heat. I don't know where it comes from exactly. It's supposed to be an abandoned warehouse, but it's still a shelter from the weather outside, so it's going to be warmer. And who knows, maybe you can craft some shelter of your own from whatever debris you can find around here to make a little shack and heat up a little bit to get at least into the teens Celsius. Teens for teens, as it were. 50s or so Celsius, Fahrenheit. 50s Celsius would be very warm.
That'd be ridiculous. And hot.
That's us in 2 weeks. Yeah.
Okay.
It's Australia in 2 weeks.
Again, there's a reason why I live in a place where the air can hurt my face. Anyway, Canada.
I do have one annoying thing that I think would make sense for Jake to do. All right, then. To stave off boredom and also just for fun, Bryce, you're the tallest here. Also, you're a Black Fury. Jake probably asks you a lot of the time, hey, you want to spar?
Yeah, I've done some boxing.
Also,
What do you mean?
Jake's about to get his ass kicked.
Maybe. We'll find out, won't we? Yeah, this seems like a natural thing for some young Garou who are eager to prove themselves, not just to their tribes and the rest of the Garou nation, but also to each other.
We've had the whole thing. We've been told we're werewolves.
Yes.
I'm definitely going to at least try to transform a ton.
Very well.
We don't know what triggers it, so we just...
Right. So
Gonna
let's
try.
start with some of the fun stuff that you're experimenting here. And I'm going to go with Bryce and Jake sparring first. Do you want to take halves, or do you actually want to roll this one out?
I'll roll.
I'm rolling.
So you get to choose if you want to use dexterity with brawl or strength with brawl. I know what Jake will choose.
Yeah.
Composure.
Yes, absolutely. Jake goes for composure with brawl. So the two standing up there in the warehouse, and Miranda and Miles watching. I don't know if they're cheering on either one or if they're just looking with curiosity as Jake does well.
Oh, wait a minute. Since this that's a brutality thing, right? Which means that's an extra success in this thing?
Yes, it is, yeah.
Depends. You trying to brutalize your opponent?
But you're not trying to brutalize her, are you?
No.
This is a friendly sparring. If this was more like you're actually fighting a bane of the worm, then yes, it would be.
In that case, so just 3 successes.
Yep.
Let me check something.
How are we? What's it called? Dance like a butterfly, sting like a bee. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I'm just reading my gift.
Ah!
Because this might be relevant here after I'm hit. You'll see.
Oh, yes.
Do a strength and brawl. Okay, with strength and brawl.
What?
But you re-rolled?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jake did a
Jake walking
willpower
in.
reroll just because he can. Well, Jake is obviously not, and this is Miles and Miranda's gonna notice this, that Jake is not... I mean, he's pulling his punches, because you can, if you want to.
Yeah, I'm pulling my punches. I don't want to seriously hurt Bryce.
But he is not arrogant at all going into this. He is laser focused and using his full skill set. So he is toying with her in ways that are distinctly embarrassing, perhaps, to Bryce. You're a good fighter. 2 successes is more than the average human would get on a take half. So it's not like you don't know how to fight, and you're definitely
with a lock-in get a Fenris.
You're definitely better than Miranda or Miles could be, and I think Miranda and Miles will realize this by watching. But Jake is just on a whole different level.
Yeah, full on. It's some kickboxing shit, pretty much.
And this is without any transformation buffs.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is just 2 humans fisting each other.
And I wasn't even using Raging Strike there. That was just full on. my natural thing.
Yeah. Bryce might. How would this play out? Bryce is taking a swing. Jake steps aside, just grabs her arm, and bam, right down on the ground.
Yeah, pretty much just some insane dodges and just a quick grapple, and the fight's over.
Yeah, because with this level of dominance, the fight is over really fast. Oh,
Do I take any damage from this?
that's up to Jake, really. I don't think you will.
No. Again for. So nah.
Because otherwise that would be rough. Yeah, let's start the
That would
rite
be
of passage
ridiculous.
with 4 points of health, superficial health damage. And
So if I did have, if I did take damage, you will get a, you would have gotten a fist back in the face.
Yeah. Also,
Retaliatory
the reason why I used a willpower there is because of the fact that I have Moon Quickened. As in, every time, the first time I howl the moon at any given night, I restore a point of superficial willpower damage.
Oh,
I will be abusing that.
yes, you should. Absolutely. Of course, right now, it's the new moon, which is the actual opposite of the type of moon you want, Jake. But each phase lasts, what is it? We have 5 phases through 30 days. It's about 6 days, apparently? That's terrible.
There's 4 phases of the moon.
There are 5 auspices, so that's... But this is like in the middle of the new moon, so it's gonna be another 3 days before. So by the time you come out of the warehouse, we'll be in the crescent moon waxing, which is, of course, the Theurg's moon.
Nice.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, Bryce has now, and everybody in the group has now experienced that Jake is in fact absolutely formidable at this stuff. He's not big muscular dude, Jake isn't, but he moves like a cat and faster than lightning, basically.
Yeah, basically pulling some Mike Tyson shit in terms of speed.
Impressive.
If it were a real fight, that's what he'd be doing in terms of fast punches, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking Bruce Lee, the legend.
True, Bruce. Yeah.
Yeah. Bam. Because he's not a big, beefy guy, right? It's not... Yeah.
True. I feel like that makes sense with basically having his fighting style incorporate more kicks and, like, knee and elbow strikes.
And you're definitely a technical fighter rather than a brute force fighter. You're not...
Yeah.
You're hitting people where it hurts. You're not using your body mass to inflict damage, because you don't have that much body mass.
Yeah.
That is Bryce and Jake sparring. Obviously, you can do more sparring during this week, but we will let this roll off stand as an example of this. What kind of things might Miranda and Miles do to show off their particular skills during this week? This is the montage, the week montage of the group getting to know each other.
Yes, but you've put a technical character in a place with no technology.
Yes, I have. The Glasswalkers hate this place intensely, probably.
Aside from the fact that we could easily escape this warehouse,
Yep.
that's not really showing off.
No, it's not. That's, yeah.
Yeah, I guess she's just gonna try to figure out how, like, what triggers, like, the change.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
whether it's just like a concentration thing, whether it's a fear thing. So she's just gonna do a decent amount of stupid shit.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Once in a while, she may even go to Jake and just say, "Could you surprise me by threatening to hit me at some point? Don't warn me, just catch me off guard."
Okay, yeah, sure. I mean, I don't know why, but sure.
Just to see whether it's a fear-based response. But yeah, she's in a place where she can't really show off much. She can see, like, into the Umbra, but there's also very little for her to do in this situation.
Yeah,
Maybe,
the Umbra is going to be distinctly boring around here.
Maybe
Yeah.
Jake will listen to you yap about your interest in, like, perhaps like the Umbra and shit. Like maybe, for example,
Apparently-
Jake asked you, who are you calling on the phone?
Oh, just a friend. Apparently, you guys can see into this as well.
Yeah. My
And just
mentor told
choose
me
not
about it.
to.
No, it's just. I think that it's just that you're different. I think it's your Fearge thing.
Yeah, you're like
I-
good at it.
That's a title rather than an ability.
No, it's like a thing. It's abilities. You're just better at seeing into it. You're more
Like you're better at fighting.
Exactly, or how I guess I'm better at seeing things than a blind person. We are the blind people in this example.
It's a weird comparison, but sure.
Yeah, that was a weird one, but okay.
Or I guess partially blind. We wouldn't be able to see it at all if we were... But you get what I mean.
I get it. I get it. But yeah, there's not much to actually show off with the non-physical characters in this scenario.
There isn't. I could tell you that the veil here is not terribly strong. Clearly, it's been used
I guess
by the
I guess I could
Bone
try
Lord a
to
lot,
gather
so-
some information, like
So-
try to get a spirit to talk to me about what's happening in Central Park, maybe.
Yeah, you could. Absolutely.
Try and get some outside information.
I feel like we don't even have to make a roll for that because of all your intelligence and occult and whatnot. Yeah.
Like I don't think my spirit would know too much about the natural, the wild, but
no,
there-
but there are
definitely
other
spirits
spirits
around.
and
Yeah.
rat spirits, for example.
they would know Central Park, I think. Yeah.
The Bongnor totem is a rat. They would. You know what? Let's have you speak with a spirit and we'll... Oh, I'm gonna be a cruel man.
Please don't tell me I need to use charisma.
Yes!
I asked this earlier. You
Have
said I
to
could
rid
use a
up some
cult.
spirit.
Charisma and persuasion. You will actually get a success on that because you can take half. Ah. The rat spirit will look at you and go, "Not supposed to talk, you. You pup.
Oh, you know who I am. You know who we are.
You pup. We no talkie.
You're confused. We went through all that. We just need to know what's happening outside.
Outside? Outside, snowy cold. Stay inside
Fair
better.
enough.
Also more food. Unless you can crawl under snow. Crawl under snow?
Not yet.
Crawl under snow, really good, because crawl under snow, stay away from scary bird. Scary bird eat people.
Crew, this guy is cooking. This.
Yeah.
Scary murder.
What about the central? What about Central Park? Is there anything happening there?
I don't think the rat knows what Central Park is.
The big forest nearby.
Oh, big forest with trees in middle of steel forest?
Yes.
Oh, that place. Oh, yeah, lots of, like you. Yeah. Lots
Like-
of Garou.
Lots of guru. Okay.
Lots of Garou. They do things. Rituals, things, traditions. Spirits go there. Speak to them. Big deal.
Okay.
Rats are actually hard. You big deal.
That's good. Apparently we're a big deal, guys. Woo! I guess you see me just like squatting down and speaking into a corner.
Yep. It's gonna be. Oh, I know. That's the perfect place for it. The rat is obviously hiding in a crack in the wall. This rat spirit.
Yeah, it's poking its nose out of the wall.
Yep.
That's all I see. Fair enough. Okay. Do you think they'll keep us much longer? It happen soon?
I think many sun ups and downs.
Okay. So guys, maybe we can just do our own thing for a few days and then come back. They may
I've
not
been
notice.
around. I've been around pups like you before. Yes, it's fun. I can't say too much. That would be Mother Larissa would be very angry with me if I said things to you you're not supposed to know.
You're such a good talker. And you know so much. Isn't it nice to show off?
I need 2 successes on that charisma persuasion now. Or we can even do a wits persuasion because I'm nice. How about that?
With persuasion. I'll try that one.
Yeah. Or you have manipulate too.
Do I get a benefit from my companion since I'm communicating with another spirit?
Why is Miranda complimenting the wall? Am I missing something here?
Miranda said she's a Feurge. They do weird spirit stuff. It's probably that. Probably talking to a spirit or something.
You're trying to... Yeah, okay. So let's go with wits and persuasion and a bonus +2 for your pacted friend.
Okay.
Okay then.
Nice.
That works.
What does a rat have against that? I need to check in my book.
Red.
Let's see. Do we have any? No, I don't really. Okay, whatever.
Okay, so that's rat.
animals.
Yeah.
Here we go. Animals. Rat. Social dice. Nothing much to speak of. Okay. 1 single die.
This
Yeah,
is
that's
the-
not gonna cut it.
Yeah.
I don't mean to brag or anything,
Brag
but
away.
in the middle of the cairn, the totem is mouse instead of rat, which I think is lame. It's very lame, isn't it? Rats, we are bigger, stronger, smarter, more... Look at our whiskers. Would a mouse have whiskers like these, I wonder?
Of course not.
We're
Honestly, I think
braver,
those are better
too.
whiskers than cats.
Now you're talking my language here, yeah. I feel it's a bit of a waste, but anyway, they are preparing. It's all coming along. I don't understand half of it because it's a lot of human speak. But
Fair.
Mother Larissa, she doesn't want me to spill the beans. And if I spill the beans, she might put me in an object or something, and I would not like that. You appreciate that, right? There's certain cost involved here, but I can tell you this much. On the night of, they're gonna scare you so hard. I love it. You know, it's every time, I just love it. And then when the big shiny blue opens up, it's priceless. It's priceless. Yeah.
Okay.
And then into the big shiny blue you go, and up and away. I don't know what happens after that. I don't know where the big shiny blue goes, but usually it takes many suns ups and downs, and then after a while the big shiny blue comes back, and the pups are coming back, and they're no longer pups. You take my meaning?
Yeah, definitely. We get that.
And but sometimes they don't come back.
They don't come back.
No,
Okay.
no.
So she says this to the group. Oh, so sometimes the initiates die.
Oh yeah, I already knew that.
Yeah, that
huh.
I don't know what happens on the other side of the big shiny blue.
Okay, thank you for all that information. I would love to see you there for our initiation. Just see you out there.
Oh
hiding
no,
amongst us.
I'm not sticking around. If Mother Larissa finds out that I've told you this stuff, she will
Who would
stuff
tell
me
her?
into a thing.
Who would tell her? I wouldn't. But okay, go on. Enjoy your
Yeah, I gotta get out of here.
Leftovers.
Like,
Yeah.
the rat seems absolutely petrified. Oops, I've said too much. I'm out of here.
Yeah.
And just rushes
Fair
away.
Okay.
I've got where Miles could compete. Do you have something more?
Oh no, I was just gonna say, I was like, yeah, Miranda just passes all that information over. Apparently we're gonna be scared on the night, and then moving a giant blue thing for a few days?
I won't be scared. I'm built different.
Of course.
I think the way Miles can compete in this, 'cause I guess since we're wolves now, we get more of a competitive urge. Is that how many of us are native New Yorkers?
As in New York City or...
New York State.
City.
Oh, okay then. I'm not. My character isn't a New Yorker from the city. He's upstate New Yorker.
Yeah. And Miranda's from Queens, so I don't know whether that counts.
It counts as a
Oh,
New
yeah,
Yorker.
that counts.
Oh yeah. So is Bryce a New Yorker as well?
I think so, if I remember correctly.
Yep.
Oh yeah. So I guess we could get into all the talking about all our like New York stories, like places we've been and things we've done, and it just gets more and more competitive as like we're trying to outdo each other in being more New York than the others. And probably
I'm so New York that.
Yeah, and Stromfeld is just laughing his ass off at these stories, and not really able to contribute much because, yeah, upstate.
I was thinking that this will be annoying the hell out of Jake all the time with stories like this one that start with things like this one time we were at a social club in Bensonhurst.
And Jake is all like, "What is Bensonhurst?"
Listen, the
I probably
best place is...
I'm probably just like silently listening or laughing, just oh yeah, Bensonhurst, and in my mind thinking, what the fuck is Bensonhurst?
Listen, the best clubs are the ones you really have to look for. You gotta know someone, and then you gotta go into this alleyway, and then you gotta go down this set of stairs, and then you're gonna have to go through a kitchen, and then you're there. It's hidden, and it's the best alcohol, the best people, the best music.
Ah, okay.
And I just imagine that Miles probably just from your description of that recognizes it and will be like, oh, you mean the Seraglio Club?
Yep. That makes sense.
Miranda's just going to keep nodding and acting like she understands what any of you are talking about.
Look, Rick is also viewing this as an opportunity to learn more about his.
Yeah, I think Miles is actually going to turn out to be the one who might be keeping you all from cabin fever because of all of his funny stories. Because if he takes half from performance and charisma, it's 3 successes. That's a lot.
Plus, if we get to like day 4 or 5 and the madness is really setting in, we can just pretend we're at the smallest warehouse party ever.
Yes, you can. Oh my god, Miles is turning this into the smallest warehouse party ever.
Except with no music.
Except with no music, exactly.
So I'm pretty sure that's just illness.
We're having a silent disco, except we have no
But
headset.
a silent disco.
Yeah, we're
It's
just
just
kids who know
completely
music.
silent.
They're like tweaks the shoes, just like
Miles can provide some music, improvised. He can make some improvised instruments using some
So Miles
crafting to put together, I don't know, some strings, an old paper bag, a plastic bag, and some rebar iron, rusted rebar iron that can smack against each other, and thus get a rhythm going. Boom.
Bryce just has a set of chopsticks and like a cooking pot and just go.
Exactly.
This is just turned into Stomp and we're all just beating on garbage cans.
Yes, this is Stomp. Miles is doing a Stomp. Which is literally gonna help people because you would probably be climbing the walls otherwise. There you go. I feel like he's the one who takes care of your mental health right now. I mean, otherwise this would be pretty miserable, wouldn't it? Without Miles to keep you all in good spirits.
Yeah.
A long and boring week. Does anyone actually meditate?
Are we
I said I'd
supposed to?
try. Like, what is there a role to meditate? I said I tried.
Not really. Composure and occult could work.
I'll take half with 3.
Yeah.
Oh,
Miranda is excellent at meditating.
I literally just have 2 dice. I guess I'll try. It goes actually pretty well.
It
Yeah.
does. Look at you go.
I'll try
Huh.
with just a raw 3 in composure.
Doing
Huh.
real well.
Everybody's doing amazingly.
Not you, though.
That's
Oh,
2
actually, no,
successes,
wow.
though.
2 successes?
Yeah. Everybody has at least 2 successes here.
Holy
Wow.
shit.
Okay. That's interesting.
We are fucking zen.
Yes,
We
you
are
are.
wild.
I think the stomp really took all the excess energy out of us, and we just
Yeah,
collapsed
you know
and started
the
meditating.
Yep.
the brawling and the dancing to the.
You've been having a party in here, and slowly but surely you're forming. How's anyone here watched X-Men First Class?
No.
Yes.
Okay, there is a nice scene there where they're having a party in their room and they're just toying around with stuff and their powers and whatnot and giving each other names, and then the grown-ups come and end everything and they're no longer having fun. But at least they have a moment where they have fun and partying. This is you guys doing that, essentially.
And we're pretty good.
You're pretty good at it, yeah.
I'm very proud of everyone.
I am too.
I kind of cheated by taking half, but
So let's see now here, Bryce. As you are meditating, of course, you are going to be visited by Gorgon herself.
Yeah.
You don't necessarily, because we only have 2 successes here, right? But I think you can tell you're sitting there in this cold warehouse, and you're taking a cue from Miranda, looking at her techniques for meditating and learning a bit about that. I don't know if your activist group has ever done meditation exercises. Maybe they have.
Unlikely.
Unlikely. Yeah, you're not that kind of activist. Not so hippie, apparently. But
More raging out to music is more her style.
fair enough. But somehow, in this unique new surrounding, and with maybe your new pack around you, and Miranda's unintentional tutelage, you do find yourself in that sort of trance-like state where you're watching, or maybe half-closed eyes, and you're visualizing this area around you. And in a dark corner of the warehouse stands the silhouette of Gorgon. And you will recognize Gorgon as Gorgon because of that writhing mass of hair that she has. And she will speak to you. So you wake, pup. Good.
So I do.
What was that?
So I do.
Yes, you are waking up. Finally. I've been waiting for you. What is holding you back?
I don't know.
Not good enough, pup.
Yeah.
You might feel a slight slap on the cheek on that one.
Oh.
What is holding you back?
I'm having a think both in and out of character. I need more courage. To stand up for myself, but also others.
Good. Find your courage, pup. I think that is about as far as this particular vision goes for you. Jake, you are also succeeding in your meditations. What is your meditation like?
Honestly, I'm gonna say it's in wolf form.
Oh, you're gonna transform into a wolf and
Yeah, basically go in my little corner in the lupus form.
curl up. What is your
Down.
wolf form like?
It looks one of those half dog, half wolf hybrids. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Something that you look at and you think to yourself, "Oh, that's probably." It looks like, if you're not knowledgeable on dogs, it looks like either a husky or some kind of Malamute.
Yep.
But if you look closely, is definitely a wolf. At least partially wolf.
So
like
not
just
much gray in this fur then.
yeah.
Yeah, you can usually see it on the type of tails because the wolves tend to have like flatter tails that hang down, while dogs have it usually going up.
But he doesn't have those spindly legs that wolves often have with the big paws. It's more fur maybe on Jake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're like a dog nerd, you'd probably be able to tell that this isn't fully just a dog.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it'd be hard to tell at first glance, from a distance.
So when you're curled up as a wolf in the musky, fog-like interior of the warehouse, there comes through the... Maybe this is the dark. Maybe this is one of the, in the middle of the week, and the tiniest sliver of moon has appeared. It's Miranda's moon, and that's the only light that's coming in here at night. And in that dark, in that glow from the crescent moon, it's a wolf that is about the size of a horse, walking towards you under the glow of the moon with twinkling eyes and growling at you. Pup. Are you ready?
Yes, Fenris.
You don't look ready. There's definitely drool coming from this mouth. Those fangs are horrifyingly big. They can rip a human in two instantly.
Jake thinks to himself that hesitance is weakness and says, "Shit, what do I say? Fuck."
Yeah, what do you say?
Shit.
Let's see here. What do you say? You're pretty good wits though. Why not wits and you're not much of a leader, are you? But you can try a wits and leadership check here to try to or are we trying to read Fenris with a wits and insight?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. It's not gonna be easy. I'm gonna say 4 successes needed.
Fuck it, we ball.
Yeah. Not today, we don't.
Fuck it, we try to ball.
Yes, we did. So you are actually just lost for words as you're staring up at this enormous wolf. Are you that weak, pup? Then you will perish. It jumps against you and disappears into the... You don't know where.
Huh. And I guess after that, I think to myself that I may be strong in body, but I was weak in mind. I was hesitant, and I need to find a way to remove that hesitation.
Yeah, apparently. Apparently that's what Fenris wants.
Which makes sense with my only 2 composure.
Yep, it does. It does. I guess Miles is the next one to get a visit from the spirits.
You know how you said we were talking before about what spirit Miles learned the long jump from? I was just thinking it would be funny if I said kangaroo just because I thought it was funny, but since he's a glass walker, if he actually learnt it from, what do they call it, like a slingshot spider.
Oh yeah,
You
like
never-
a jumping spider.
A
Yes.
spider that actually builds a catapult out of its own silk, pushes
That is
itself
the most
back into
weird
it,
shit
and
I've
then
ever heard.
flings itself over distance.
That would be very cool too. And
The
very
Weaver
appropriate.
helped whatever went to make that thing.
Well,
What the fuck?
what you are definitely going to be awoken to, as it were, is going to be a spider. Because that is the totem of the Glasswalkers, isn't it? Yeah. I guess, how is that gonna be? Like, oh, maybe he's lying on the back sometime, Miles, and just looking up, and then sees a spider on the ceiling, and it weaves a little bit of a web, and then starts coming down towards you, and as it does, it gets bigger and bigger until it fills your entire vision. And it speaks to you, which is absolutely a thing that spiders usually do, right? Right?
Isn't
Miranda, sure. Don't know about Miles.
Although, since if he has already had a dream about a spider teaching him stuff, I guess in this case it would only be moderately horrifying.
Miles. 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 Far away
at those
from your
young men.
radio now. Miles.
That'll be fine. I left some recordings with a friend. They'll keep the show rolling.
Very good. How will you adapt to this? You are in a place without any type of connection to the outside. No web for you to hold on to.
I can reinvent technology if I have to.
I
And I guess he just gestures to the sort of improvised musical instruments. Beat will find a way.
The beat will find a way. Very good. Yes, you will have to find a way, won't you? Best of luck, Miles. I'm not sure I'll be catching up for you for a while.
I guess Miles now is starting to recognize this as the sort of spirit of the technology he's felt attuned with all his life, kind of thing. And just the cool New Yorker way, I'll check in with you when I'm back in town.
You do that. Good luck.
Just looked awesome as it just like tracked back up to the ceiling.
Yeah, pretty much.
Based as fuck.
I think Miranda is gonna wake up or not wake up. She's gonna dream in
To
one
die.
of her. She's the best of all of you at meditations. And as such, when she's kind of leaning back and finding herself lying in a very nice big spider web. Not caught like a fly, necessarily. Or is she? As she's pulling on the various strings, the big spider in the web will come towards her and look at her. Are you a fly or a friend? Mandibles clicking.
A fan of
A
good
fan.
construction. Of good
course.
construction.
Yes, yes. How is this construction? Touches the web. It vibrates a bit.
Not finished yet.
You're right. Where could I add some work here? So much to do, so much to do. I have to keep building the web.
Of course. No true work is ever really done. You've always got to compete with time.
Time is a challenge. But not as much as the worm. The worm rots the web.
I've encountered it in bits and pieces. Lots of unnecessary decay. People and things breaking for no other reason than they could.
What
An
will
evil
you-
force.
What will you do when the worm sees you and comes for you and your webs?
I'll build something better.
That is a good answer. Protect all your children and mine.
Of
We're
course.
safe in the web, but when we're away from the web, there's danger.
Yes. We'll face it. Every time.
Good, child. A daughter of the web. Yes, good. Spider seems to forget herself and start weaving more web. And,
Yeah, as they do.
yeah, exactly. And
Miranda will just watch. She won't try to add or anything. She'll just watch until she inevitably
disappears into the
breaks out of
shadows.
the Huh? Taking
Disappears-
some notes. Oh, could I mentally pull out my sketchbook? Is that something I
guess
could do?
you could. This is in your
I've got
roll.
craft drawing specialties.
Yeah. This is what I saw when I was in a trance.
Yeah. It'll be even freakier if you're in the trance and you just start drawing.
So, drawing.
Yeah.
I think if if you show Stromfeld the drawings, he's just gonna say, "Oh, that's pretty wicked." Yeah. So I saw Fenris, and he basically called me out for being a little bitch.
Must be hard for you.
Yeah, but
Seems like it's very important.
Stop being a little punk ass bitch. It was a tough pill to swallow, but it was a lesson that I should try and stop being. I will stop being a little punk ass bitch in the future.
You can be true to yourself without being worse.
Yeah, something like that.
Bravery doesn't need to be strength.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, that's basically what I said, but worded dumb. You get what I mean. Fuck it.
Of course.
Tell me what
Of
you need
course.
to do different.
Apparently, you need to be quite polite to spirits because I wasn't I wasn't in the know that a spirit could slap you.
Yeah, most spirits don't. Mainly because they're just individual beings, but I guess if you anger a powerful enough spirit, they could slap you. You don't seem to be hurt, if that's any consolation.
I'm not,
not
but it caught me
physically.
off guard is all.
Yeah, a few of them are quite opinionated.
Mm-hmm.
As long as you remember that, sure, they may be powerful, but try not to see them as better than you. They're different, but they're not gods. They're just different. They've had some of them have had a lot more experience. Some of them are seconds old, and a lot of the time you won't be able to tell the difference.
So after this week, what might be the different sort of attitudes between these pack mates? Miles has saved you from cabin fever, that much is clear.
Very grateful.
But other than that, like Bryce, what is Bryce's perspective? Like a sentence each on Miranda, Miles, and Jake. I think X is...
Can you repeat that last sentence again?
I think X is something. Bryce thinks Miranda is... fill in the blank.
Bryce thinks Miranda is more kooky than the usual upper class students she's been privy to.
Fair.
Probably, yeah. Bryce thinks Miles is...
stronger than he looks.
That's a low bar, though. Sorry, I'm so nasty.
You didn't ask for nice comments, you asked for opinion.
Yes, I did. This is true. What does Bryce think Jake is?
Oh yeah, I mixed people up. That was about Jake, I think.
Oh, okay. So
Oh.
Jake is stronger than he looks because of
Yeah.
how he swept you off the... Yeah, bang, yeah. What does Bryce think Miles is, then?
Entertaining.
Funny guy, apparently. You crack
Yeah,
all the
that's
best jokes, Miles. That seems true to form. Jake, what do you think Bryce is?
Bryce, I would say that coming into this, I had worried expectations of the different tribes. When I learned that Bryce was a Black Fury, I was worried that they would be a little bit of a whinger. But they've proven my expectations wrong. They're, I would say, quite fun to hang out with. And definitely a way better fighter than most people. Even though I mean, I did win handedly, but it's still better than most people.
She can hold her own. She can hold her own.
Yeah. I won't have to worry as much about protecting her than the other two.
I think one thing that Bryce might also shine in that we haven't actually covered yet during this week. I don't know how much Bryce wants to reveal that to people, though. Just your absolutely amazing insight. You look at these guys and you read them like an open book. Every time.
Alright. As for Miranda, in some ways my expectations were met. I don't mean that in a negative way, it's just... they say a lot of big words. And honestly, they definitely feel like the voice of reason in this. And Miles, that guy's fucking hilarious. I like the dude. That being said, he definitely, I need to focus on making sure he doesn't get murdered. He has that vibe about him.
Oh yeah, he's a frail fella.
Yeah.
Definitely, that's the guy you need to protect more than anyone else here, I think, because he breaks if you look at him the wrong way. Miles, what does Miles think about Bryce?
Miles really likes Bryce because Bryce is a punk New Yorker that he has met a lot of, but she takes it to the next level. She's the most extreme version of that personality type.
What about Jake, who clearly has no clue about anything New York?
And Miles obviously respects Jake's physical abilities, but somebody who so obviously knows what they're doing in a fight. He's nervous by the way his spirit treated him and how it was so easy to convince somebody like that he was just a little bitch. I'm not sure if like the Miles would know these terms or if they even had them then, but he's worried about the kind of insecure masculinity, toxic masculinity thing on there.
Yeah, that's probably when it comes to get a Fenris, that's a good warning flag to keep in mind.
Emotional instability is my thing, okay?
What about Miranda then, Miles?
I think it also feels a lot of connection to Miranda, partly because they met first and knew each other for longer, but they're also part of a lot of the same kind of intellectual world, with Miranda really being into architecture and stuff, but also Miles didn't really understand what Miranda was seeing with all the spirit world stuff, and was like everybody else when she was like crouched in the corner talking to the wall kind of thing. It was like, what is going on with this? But now that he's seen the spider in all its glory, and also just seeing like the spider coming down, I just saw that as like Ghost in the Shell type animation. With
that
the
works.
like the sunlight coming through the skylights of the warehouse and everything. But now that he's seen that, I feel like he understands what Miranda sees all the time a bit better.
That makes sense.
And so generally, also has noticed kind of pattern that the two tough characters got slapped around by their spirits, whereas the two glasswalkers just got to go and hang out with their fun, happy nerd god.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's not the veil, it's the gauntlet. I need to remember that. The veil, I think, is for wraiths, isn't it? Yeah, anyway. Yeah, what about Miranda?
Yeah, Brian was thinking about Bryce.
Yeah.
She's thinking she admires the confidence that she has and how easy it is for her to just be herself in a lot of cases, like just putting forward a full personality without much fear or like worrying to hold back. Jake, obviously impressed with his physical abilities, but also very impressed by his willingness to acknowledge any weaknesses or stuff that he needs to work on, which is pretty rare in that sort of person.
Well,
and Miles?
Weakness is just a good way to have them exploit it. In the future.
Hey, fine. With Miles, it's definitely... She thinks she has spent a bit more time with him, and she sees him as someone who's worth listening to, but who has a larger influence than he might appreciate. A lot of the stuff he puts forward is just music and good vibes, but as she can see the web around her and the web around everyone else, it's a lot easier to see how that ripples out into not just the radio waves.
Yeah. It's a bonding material, isn't it, music? Yeah, that makes sense. And speaking of all these observations, what is the one thing, the final round here before we head into horrible other things, the final round of cabin fever, if you will, what is the one thing, what is the one thing that each of you do that kind of gets on the other people's nerves, starting with Bryce? But before Bryce starts with that, I also want to give you that moment to shine, because we haven't given Bryce that moment to shine. All that happens was that Bryce ended up on the floor. But she also has, strengths that nobody else has. So which way would Bryce actually shine during this week and impress on the others that she is competent in her own way? It's hard because the skill set here, athletics is fine, but the other things, when it comes to insight and streetwise, that's not something that is easy to show off, unless you're going to be doing some kind of verbal context where you're aiming to poke someone else emotionally because you know what buttons to press. Your streetwise would serve you well with Miles and his when you were out in the streets, and you could even probably out streetwise him, New York better than he does. So that would be one way. Or what are we picking here? Leave the suggestions to you.
what I think Bryce is gonna do, I think she's gonna, since we're just all in this warehouse, right?
Yep. A week.
She's gonna ask this group of people, so hey, I'm tired of sleeping on the ground. Can you like help me build like a temporary shelter?
Sure, let me help you out.
Right.
Of course. Love to.
Yeah.
So she's gonna essentially convince the others to help her with building a temporary place for them to like chill out.
That's gonna work. And of course, she is probably the most charismatic in the group, isn't she?
Yeah, she has also points in leadership.
Yeah. Oh, she's not the most charismatic, Miles is. But leadership-wise, oh my god, is there a leadership contest brewing here? Because Miles has 1 dot more in charisma leadership than Bryce does. But
2 people can be good at leadership. It's not a.
It's not a it's not pie. But yeah, I guess Bryce will be the one who is coming with all the suggestions during the week about why don't we do this to make life a little bit easier for us. The idea person. Also, such high wits, that tracks very well with being the ideas
Yeah,
person.
I see that one of them looks a little bit cold, so it's like, okay,
Let's
I
just
gotta fix this.
build something, and then you do that, and that gets good. It's not going to be the most amazing shelter ever, but...
But it works.
It's just for a week.
Exactly. Between Miles and Miranda, who are the only ones with the actual crafting skill, you're going to get at least something done.
Since Miles' crafting speciality is electronics, you won't have any problem deferring to Bryce in what we're knocking together.
That makes sense. And of course, Jake is almost a natural with crafting with a 4 dexterity, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna actually have a cozy setup. It's gonna be like Fort Pack with you
Yeah,
collect...
she sprays on the
You're gonna collect a whole bunch of stuff, maybe some old tarp, and have your own little hobo hangout that all 4 of you can sleep in. That is actually warm-ish. I think the one thing that is definitely gonna draw down the spirits here is the food and drink you get, which is just sad, to be honest. You're basically eating... Oh, you could have... yeah, it's gonna be bread and water. Stale bread and water. And whatever else the bone gnawers can rustle up. Sometimes it's gonna be some kind of weird stew where you put a plastic spoon in it and you pull it up and it's just very sticky and stringy and you have no idea what went into that stew. It doesn't taste much. It's just possible to eat it.
Jake's eaten rats and dogs and cats, okay? This isn't anything to him.
Yeah,
okay? Look, he's just glad he has food.
That's fair.
one benefit is that you can now eat rats as a wolf, so it's a little bit more palatable.
I suppose it is.
Yeah, Miranda's no, not my rat friend.
So what is the one...
I'm not friends with rats. I'm friends with spirits. Some
Yes.
of them happen to be rat spirits.
Yes, there's a difference. So what is the one thing that Bryce does that might be offsetting to the others?
She sprays Fort Idiot on their little hideout.
Okay, what is Jake's thing that might get the others to climb the walls and rub other people the wrong way?
I would say with Jake's personality, the thing that rubs people the wrong way is 2 things, honestly. Is his stubbornness and also his openness. He will say what he thinks about you, whether you like it or not. And also says a lot of things that just first come to mind. He's just like me for real.
He just blurts it out.
Yeah. And sometimes it's good, and sometimes it's really mean. And he doesn't even intend it to be mean sometimes. Just,
No filter, just honest.
Don't do that,
Jake.
Pretty much.
What might be the thing that Miles does that rubs others the wrong way?
One thing, I don't know if how much this would annoy him since they're wolves too, but he has the compulsion that every time he sees the moon, he has to turn into wolf form and howl at the moon. But also, because now he's got control of his abilities and can do it more often, he's going to be practicing his long jump, high jump ability in the rafters of the warehouse to try and just make sure he can get his aim exactly right. And every time he lands one, the whole sort of structure shakes a bit and loads of dust falls down to the ground level.
Like, don't shake my shelter! You almost landed on it! Yeah, your dexterity is not impressive.
And maybe there's one incident where, like, you almost landed on top of me, and it's like, I almost punched you out for it.
That would make sense. Is there anything Miranda does that gets under the other people's skins, or what have you?
I think she does that thing where she's talking and looking at someone, and then they don't realize she's not talking to them. She's just talking at something that's generally in their direction.
Mm-hmm.
So she doesn't realize that she's being rude because she's not focusing on what's actually in front of her. She's just walking and talking with things that are just floating around. And obviously that's like people are walking up. It's like she walks up to you, and she's talking, but what she's saying is complete nonsense because you're only getting half a conversation that wasn't meant for you. And that would get really annoying real quick.
Her invisible friends
Yeah.
again. Her invisible friends.
She's really trying to convince this one crow spirit to just confuse a delivery driver enough that he drops whatever food he's getting to the warehouse instead of where he's actually supposed to drop it. She's just trying to convince him to just fuck up the delivery so she gets good food for once.
Why? I'm not supposed to do that. Yeah, maybe.
What do you mean?
Did it work? Did it not work? Manipulation, persuasion, 3 dice.
Yeah. By the way,
difficulty 3. It probably didn't work.
Oh,
You can roll it if you
it-
want to, but you don't have to.
No, I'll give it a shot. It's worth. Hey, I might succeed. What was the roll again?
Manipulation, persuasion.
Okay.
I know
feel
that
like
you're gonna up that persuasion skill sooner or later.
I have
eventually-
to, apparently. Because you said I could use a cult before. I was like, okay, that's fine. I don't need to up my persuasion.
Costs
Just
more
like Miles
knowledge
can
about
talk
the
to this
spirits.
crow.
Yeah, you can identify things like nobody's
You
business.
did it.
What? How?
The 2 bonus dice from my spirit bond.
Oh, that helps. Anyway,
So one night we get pizza.
one night you get pizza, and the Bongdors
Hell.
never knew.
Or does it like slightly misunderstand what we want, and he just gets a restaurant supply delivery, and we just get like a giant wheel of cheese or something?
I think
Well-
with 4 successes, I was able to communicate the correct one.
Yeah, I think so. We are
It's
going
pizza,
to be.
but it's like shit pizza.
Oh yeah, it's probably shit pizza. It's also probably cold
no.
because the delivery driver got lost a bunch on
Yeah.
the way to dropping it off.
It's cold pepperoni. There we go. Great.
But it's better than stale bread and water.
Yes, it is. We're gonna be right back to the action and take a 5-minute break here for everybody. So if they need to use that in various ways, we'll be back in a moment.
Oh, yeah.
So we're back, and the week is coming to the end. And now Bryce will be very happy because it's now the Philodox moon, actually. So,
Super.
yeah. So, how much rage do you want to have at the end of this week? Because that question came up during the break. In theory, you could max out your rage, because you could howl at the
You
moon
get a-
every night. You can...
Get we ball.
what was
5
that?
rage.
Okay, we ball. 5 rage. Jake is climbing the walls and being very angry at everything. Ugh, I want to get out of here and smash something.
Yeah.
Settled for 3
I've set
rage.
to. That's good.
Like,
Because
Jake is 5 seconds away from foaming at the mouth.
Yep.
I think Philodux actually used to start with 3 rage back in the day, but I haven't
They
played
did.
it.
Yeah. It seems that they have disconnected your moon phase to yourself, because back in the day it was, I see my own moon, and now I get rage up to that level. When Arun sees the full moon, they get their 5 rage. Boom. That was how it used to work. I don't know if it still does. I haven't seen. This book is still difficult for me to navigate. But it doesn't say it. Gaining rage. It doesn't say that you gain rage according to your auspice and so on. I guess they've removed that, which is sad because you would think that you would be connected to the moon mechanically too. But you're not in W5.
It might
Is
be
there
a
any
balancing
downside to being
thing.
maxed? You go ahead.
I assume it's probably just like a balancing thing.
Or a simplification to keep things simple and
That too.
fast and easy to handle.
Any
Your auspice
downside?
matters through your gifts, so that's one way it does matter.
Is there any downside to being maxed out on rage?
Bigger chance of doing very brutal things if you roll the brutality die. Which
I'm rolling 5 brutality die. Yeah, that's a
yeah,
lot.
so a rage die, when you roll a 1 to 2, that's a brutal result on a rage die, and 2 or more brutal results cause a brutal outcome, usually causing the test to fail unless the goal was to cause harm or damage. So if you roll 2 teeth things with your rage dice, you fail with whatever you're trying to do, unless you're trying to cause damage. Yeah, you get so angry and upset that you can't focus properly. Miles, for example, trying to persuade someone or perform, you get 2 of those fang dice, brutal dice, then you've automatically failed. It doesn't matter how many successes you roll on anything else. You're done.
That actually does make a lot of sense. It's like a rage quit for any skill.
Yeah, it's a rage quit. Literally a rage quit. That's exactly
And
what
it makes sense for my fang to,
Yep, absolutely. Oh, it's been a week. It's literally the winter equinox. So, the solstice. Not equinox, it's solstice. Equinox is on spring and fall, my friends. It's the solstice, winter solstice. It's the shortest night of the year, just before Christmas. And this is the time that the pagans used to sacrifice a horse or something to Fenris, at least if they were Gator Fenris. And this is the time when your monotony is finally broken up, when 2 people are coming into the warehouse. Look, it's Timmy again. But he's not alone. This little old lady is coming with as well. Yeah.
Also, slight correction: the winter solstice is the shortest day and the longest night.
Longest night. Did I say shortest night? I'm just clearly in need of more coffee.
That's the opposite is in summer.
I know what I meant.
You should know this, you Swedish person.
I know what I meant.
Not used to the sun.
Fake Swede alert! Fake Swede!
No, it's like the
It's been
sun goes
infected
down
by
at
the
3
Canuck.
p.m. And yeah. Comes up
Miles
at
is like
9.
90% sure this woman owns a head shop in the East Village.
She does have a very eclectic hat. She's dressed in some kind of ill-fitting polyester clothes, and is more or less supporting herself on an old shopping cart that is going ahead of her with all sorts of bric-a-brac in it. And the hat is stitched together from several other hats, probably, that she must have found somewhere. And she's coming in there together with Timmy, the big boy. Here we are. Finally. Look at all of you young pups ready tonight. How are you feeling this night? She's gonna waddle up to each one of you and give you each one of you a solid pinch of the cheek. like she is your grandma, which clearly she is, right?
I guess I say I'm feeling relieved that we're finally doing it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Miranda's gonna try to suppress a growl. He's not feeling social right now.
Look, I'm not being nice to the old lady. I was raised better than that.
Just follow me, follow Mother. Let's go, and we'll see that you get to the next step of everything. Yes?
Yeah. At this point, I quickly grab my duffel bag with the extra set of clothes in it, and get in line.
It is heavy snow outside, apparently, this night.
Makes sense.
Yeah. You haven't been outside for a week. The cold air will just hit you in the face. How warm clothes do you have?
Always remember, no matter what happens, at least we're not in the warehouse anymore.
You're not in the warehouse anymore. Absolutely.
Yep. I'm wearing basically a jacket, jeans, some old shoes. Not a lot.
I think Bryce would at least have a winter jacket because she's outside a lot.
I feel like Jake
At least
would have
in
a
the
winter
New York,
jacket too, 'cause...
Yeah, that's what I said, jacket. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Like a
At
parka.
least in New York. Fit for New York.
With minus 10 centigrade, that is not even weird for New York. That translates to, for poor El Duende here. Why do I have to type all this? There we go.
American
It is... there. 14 degrees Fahrenheit.
Jesus!
There we go. That was what I was waiting for.
Wind blows right through you. It's no place for the old.
You need to have a good parka, my friend. You need to have a good parka.
I will be attempting to use as many Pogues lyrics as I can.
Me thinks that I'm going to have to use that lupus form soon to deal with the cold eventually.
How long can
Possibly.
we stay in our different forms?
Krinos is the one form where you have to keep rolling because...
I was thinking you were the Glabro.
I believe you can stay in Glabro forever, basically.
Oh,
Can't you?
that's nice to know.
Because it doesn't... Let me see here again. If they have
Like,
changed
it
that...
does have a negative. It's -2 to social.
Yeah. And negative 2,
But-
but +2 to physical, so...
Yeah,
so
whereas
we're
it's like,
changing a bit.
if I had +4 stamina,
Yeah.
I could probably just shrug off a lot of this weather.
Probably, yes. And Dire Wolf is also like that.
But you can't walk as dire wolf through the city. Walk as
No, you cannot.
as a Glabro.
Oh my god, it's the dog that attacked those 2 cops!
Exactly.
I guess in that case, Miranda will try the Glabro form just to, because she's
Shape-shifting.
dressed in her short sleeve lumberjack style dress.
Yeah. Yeah, it's one natural form of most homid. Still good using tools.
Yeah, it's basically just the social that takes a penalty.
Yep. Holy shit, a giant fucking wolf monster just tore those pieces to ribbons. Yeah, that's what people don't actually do with this thing. You get a bonus to intimidation, of course.
That's nice. But yeah, Miranda's just gonna, while she's stepping outside, just hulk up a bit.
Yeah.
So she gains like half a foot. So she's now actually 6 foot. But
How much extra body hair does this get you?
A little bit. A little bit. You look a little bit Frankenstein-y or Wolfman-y from the old movies. You have
Yeah.
the unibrow and more hair on your head, perhaps. A bit more fur on your arms, but not so much that it would look
yeah, her teeth
unnatural.
get sharper and her jawline gets a lot more defined.
Yeah. Your
It's called
clothes
spelling.
are definitely going to be very tight-fitting suddenly.
They're pretty loose fitting, so yeah,
Okay,
that
fair
it
enough.
means they're tight fitting.
Yeah, yeah.
But it
in
just
the
means
old-
she's not feeling this cold right now.
The old Werewolf book, in the what's this form called again? Is this Glabro?
Yeah.
It's Glabro, yeah.
In the old book, in Glabro form, even women have like full sideburns. It's like a considerable extra amount of hair.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey,
It's
Face to shit.
If you have a solid hoodie up, you're still not going to be seen as you're a monster. But if you go, that's why you get -2 on socials. If you're too close to people, they're going to be like, "Oh, you're a freak."
You're ugly as fuck.
Yeah.
Also,
basically.
like, I'm imagining her mouth's kind of deformed enough that it's affecting her voice.
Yep, absolutely.
But it's not that she can't speak, it's just that it
gets
warping
harder.
it a bit.
Yeah. I think Timmy's gonna growl a bit at you because growing like that, it's seen as a little bit of a insulting type of thing. Are you scared? Are you
Insulting to who?
the hosts? You're getting physicality here. No.
Sorry, it's cold. I don't have a lot of winter gear right now.
Anyone else getting into this forum?
No.
Nope.
Fair.
Miles just brought decent cold weather clothing.
That is a simple way to fix things. You're gonna be walked all the way to Central Park, which is quite a distance from this particular house. It's not as next door as you might have liked it to be. 30 blocks, so
30 blocks is a long way.
it is a long way.
Yeah. Jake's done worse though.
So it's probably a good hour of walking in the snow, but eventually Central Park is there, and you're starting to make your way into the actual dark among the trees, as it were. And because there's so much snow, you can't see any moon tonight. Very sad.
Oh no.
Oh.
It's a good thing for
even-
Miles, though, because he doesn't have to howl at anything.
So good for
Yep. Jake, you were saying?
Oh, I just said good thing for me because I already got the max rage.
You're about...
I am fucking angry.
You're about halfway through the trees, something like that. Definitely you can't see the streets anymore, other than when you look above the tree line and you see the skyscrapers around you. Things are relaxing in Central Park. They always have been, but at this point, maybe it's more than just a nice, fresh breath that comes from all the trees, the fresh air. Maybe it's more than that. Maybe it's just a purer place in many ways. Be that as it may, Mother Larissa will stop and turn, and you're in the ramble now, maybe halfway down a dark path, and she looks at all of you. The cairn has decided. The council has decided. You are not worthy of going through the Rite. Timmy, see them off. And she starts waddling away into the dark. And Timmy is... No. Pops, run!
Jake just starts laughing.
Yeah. Miranda doesn't start laughing, but she does have this grin. She knows something like this was gonna happen. Oh, you turned into Kratos.
Yep. Yeah, his clothes
that's
are
a
clearly
choice.
dedicated, and he is turning, and there's gonna be a lot of rustling in the rambles around you. And yeah, he's growling at you. Intimidation check, everyone!
Goodness.
Oh, what's that resisted by?
You could resist it with insight.
Do we get a
Yeah, you
bonus
can.
because we already know that they were gonna try and scare us?
I'll give you
I
a
did warn
+2.
people.
I'll give you a +2.
Would that be wits and insight or something else?
Oh,
Yeah, you can. There's several ways to resist this. Oh my god. I'm gonna willpower this.
Another thing I thought about, though, Mikkel, is that
What ways? You could do... Let's see now. Miranda wants to resist this. You can do composure.
technically, for some reason, I'm taking a -2 to composure in this form. Does that make sense?
How about
Because
resolve
you're
then?
in Glabro form.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just I didn't.
Yeah.
I wouldn't think composure, like the negative, would apply to this sort of thing. in
But
that
why don't
form.
we do resolve then?
Sure.
and insight. Because that's a willpower thing, isn't it? And 4 successes. You are not scared at all, Miranda Blackpool.
She's not scared, but she will start moving.
Bryce might get a bit scared.
I'm gonna willpower that actually.
Ah,
Fair.
that's now 2 points of willpower damage, and you are in fact moving away. How about Jake?
All right, one thing I thought about, Mikhail, is that... All right, then. Now, not only do I know that this is just a trick to fuck with us, but also another thing is that if I were to back down, that would also be proving Fenris right.
It's true, yeah. Oh my god. Yeah, okay.
So could I... Is that also an advantage, or...
Nope.
All right, then.
That just means
in
there's
that case,
consequences.
Yep. You can do a composure and resolve, which is, or what do we have here? Yeah, insight, composure.
It's fine. I can already just take half because I'm doing insight resolve, and then +2 from the Fang of knowing this is a trick. So 3 successes. I'm the defender.
No, not +2 successes, +2 dice.
Forgot to add that to
So-
mine, so it should be
Yeah.
2 more dice.
Also, social
Um,
tests auto failure. What does that mean in this case for the Krenos form?
Intimidation is different, right? So,
I'd hope so.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 3 then.
Yep, 3 successes. If I just take half.
How about Miles?
And I do you say insight composure is an option?
Yep.
And 2 bonus dice.
Yes. Everybody just takes half and chills.
Miranda still needed to roll because she's got no fucking insight.
Fair.
Yeah, that would be... Is 5 a success or a fail?
It's a fail.
Okay,
A 6 is
then
a
that's
success.
1 more success, because I got a 7.
So you have 3 in total, which
3,
means
yes.
that you don't take willpower damage, right?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
you equalize and you're fine.
Mhm.
No, wait, is it the... No, the aggressor wins in this system, right? Yeah, I always forget. So you take 1, you still
so I
take
have
1.
to actually roll.
Yeah, you do need to have to roll, because it's in...
When
it's
the
in
aggressor
free league
wins-
games. Yeah.
But that doesn't imply the damage, though. They just mean they win the competition. It doesn't mean they get free damage, right?
It doesn't get extra damage, no, that's true. Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
fair
Okay.
enough. Possible
They get the social
brutal
outcome, but not the
yeah,
willpower.
Jake is scared as
Holy shit.
Jake
Okay.
goes scared as
And
heck.
you're in Krenos.
No, he doesn't go into Krenos. He just goes...
No, he's in Krenos when he does this.
No, he's not in Krenos. He hasn't
No?
shifted.
Well, one thing I back up and just start growling. Then
No, you're running like a little pup with
Okay.
this outcome. This is a botch. This is absolutely... You're tail between the legs running, because this is the scariest shit you've seen since... who knows? While Miles is chill and fine and not a problem at all. I guess
Okay.
Bryce is cautiously backing away. And of course it's going to get worse, because in the brambles around you, you will hear in the high hedges and bushes more of them. And they're all coming for you with glistening fangs and claws. And yeah. Are we backing away? Jake is already running down the
Yeah,
path away from them.
I'm gone. Adios.
Miranda's gonna be running off, but she is chuckling as she goes.
Miles and Bryce are
She
also
will-
coming.
Yeah, I'm gonna follow after Miranda. Shit.
Yeah. You are running right through. Nobody wants to have a fight with 3 Krynos werewolves who are driving you down the path into...
Yeah, you know what? In fact, I'm gonna switch over to the lupus because of how scared I am.
That makes sense. Yep. You
I think as she's running, Bryce is just gonna yell out, "Oh, goodness, please stick together."
Yeah.
your clothes are gonna be a tangled mess as you're just running out of them as a wolf, with literally the tail between your legs, and rushing into a small clearing where you will see a thing, basically. There's a blue glow rising up from the ground itself, and it forms like a tunnel as you are running through this forest there, Jake, the ramble.
Oh no,
so-
wait a minute, you're telling me.
You're going...
Oh no! I just realized something.
What?
I think this is some sort of teleportation thing.
Really?
Yeah, I accidentally walked into the teleporter naked, so I'm stuck in the wolf form pretty much.
No clothes, eh?
Yep, so I guess I'm stuck in the lupus form for a little while.
Just
welcome
runs
to,
into the blue tunnel that's literally hovering above the ground. Miranda, you have intelligence 4 and occult 3. You know what this is. This is a moon bridge that has opened up right in front of you. You have no idea what it's going to carry you, but yes, this is a teleportation device.
Yeah. And she calls out, "Run across the moon bridge." And then she says, that way.
Sure.
Into the glowy blue thing.
Into the
Oh,
glowing
actually-
thing, and she calls back into the park. She says, "We'll be back soon."
Could
But
we roll
also at this point,
some-
she has -1 charisma.
Yep.
Could we roll something to see if any of us had the presence of mind to grab Jake's clothes?
No, I think it's funnier this way. It's
Miranda
funnier.
definitely has the presence of mind to grab the clothes.
I think she was just having fun too much and didn't realize how much Jake had been affected. Because she was like, "Oh, I warned you ahead of time that they were going to try and scare us. No one's actually scared, right?"
I got a very high insight. Could I maybe pick them up for him?
I'm thinking the presence of mind here would be a composure resolve thing, basically. So just roll a willpower check to see if you're like
Okay.
keeping track of things enough. 2 successes needed. Nope.
Alright, this is fine. This is funnier this way. Leave it be.
I'm too distracted by everything happening to notice.
Yeah. And into the blue glow you go. You will feel the rush of stepping into this thing. This oval portal, really. And it's translucent. There's a tunnel. It curves sharply upwards, and you can feel the rush of cold air coming out of the portal. It's a breeze from the other direction. Yeah, you're feeling the sensation of going upwards as you're going through this moon bridge. And then it levels up. You can probably see yourself, the ground disappearing underneath you really fast. You're literally up in the sky as far as... And you have no idea of how far and how fast you might be going. But the bridge itself will level out, and then will start to descend again. And you will start to feel the scent of wilderness in the air ahead. Cold, pure air, pine trees, that sort of thing. And you will, in fact, arrive to the wilds, as it were. And it's dark here, obviously, because it's somewhere else in the world.
I think we've just traveled a few blocks.
Yeah, just a few blocks.
It was a very short bridge. It's the other side of Central Park.
Gray, fast clouds in the sky. You don't recognize anything around here, of course. In
The air's
this
clearer,
area.
right?
What was that?
The air's clearer.
Yeah, the air is much clearer.
Yeah.
Okay,
Now-
so we can't be in America.
That's
True.
you can be if you're in Alaska, for example.
True. So now that we've escaped, Jake has had a moment to calm down. He
Yeah.
realizes, fuck me.
Yeah, I feel like there's
Oh.
a Harano possibility here for Jake, because he's basically betrayed everything he should be about, right?
Fuck.
That started well, didn't it?
Yeah, and then like
Like,
Jake
just to really rub it in, Miles will look down at him and be like, "Damn, you really sold that. You look terrified for real. Good acting."
Jake just starts growling.
Oh, man.
Remember, you can't communicate with us.
I think we can understand each other a little bit, because other Garu can understand people in Lupus form to an extent.
Yeah, well,
feel like I don't need
you're
to
limited
say
to
a
wolves
growl
and
is
Garou.
enough to convey the meaning here.
Let's see now
Oh.
here. Roll a Harano test for Miles, for Jake. Because that's how humiliated you feel right now, I think. It's a major
I'm gonna
setback for
re-roll.
you, basically.
I'm re-rolling it.
Oh no.
What is the
That's a
Harano
point
test?
of Harano for you.
Is there any way to remove Harano, or...
Don't think so.
Fuck.
Unless you specifically does something that would...
The only
work.
good point here is that the more you get dots in this, the more likely you are to pass the test. The more you get Harano or Hauglosk, the less likely you are to get more.
Got it.
But as you're standing there and whimpering, probably ashamed over your shameful display, you will see a man standing before you. He is definitely not what you would think of a New Yorker, perhaps, but New Yorkers are a very diverse lot, aren't they?
Yeah, there's like a bajillion New Yorkers.
Yeah, he's a very tall man. He has night black hair, piercing eyes, definitely Native American, and is wearing some traditional native clothing, very colorful belt, for example, and a big heavy black coat, I should say. And he'll look all of you over with his stern face. Welcome, pups of the Sept of the Green. I am the warden of this cairn. There is food and shelter for you. Tomorrow you will begin your rite of passage. You are now in our sept. We are of the Gale Stalkers. And if you want to know where in the world you are no longer in New York. He has a slight accent.
Well, I could. And Miles will just say, I could tell we weren't in New York when the NYPD choir weren't singing Galway Bay.
He's actually going to chuckle at that. Bryce, you have wits and insight. Can you peg down his accent? Yes, you can. He has a Canadian accent.
Oh, a Canuck.
I'm Cree myself, he says, if we speak about our human sides.
Jay can't say that because he's a wolf, but...
Yeah, it's fair. It's fair.
But Bryce is gonna say, we're in Canada, aren't we?
Yep, you're out and about. Welcome
A
to
boot.
the Great White
boot.
North. Hey, I don't know if you Yanks are used to this kind of cold. It's chilly up here. It's definitely colder than New York. By a few degrees at least. If we've gone from -10, we're probably at -15 Celsius now. Which counts as, what is that going to be? 5 degrees Fahrenheit. Actually, winter hasn't really come up here yet. It's still a fairly nice and balmy fall, I'd say.
Nice up here. Yes. She's just flexing her slightly longer fingers. It's just okay. Slightly feeling this cold.
Anyway, we have a nice and warm
we
cave
accept
for you.
your generosity. Thank you.
I think Bryce is just like looking at Jake in wolf form, kind of lifting an eyebrow.
Jake is just staring at the ground and just in shame.
I'm just gonna say, is there any chance there's any clothes? One of our number was quite affected by the beauty of the moon bridge.
I guess the warden is just glancing at you, Miranda, and then
Yeah, she's looking. She's trying to preserve some of his dignity. But if you want me to roll deception, I will, and she will fail.
Yes.
Okay.
You don't. No, you don't have to. He's just. Guess it's gonna be a long week for you.
Was he looking at Jake then?
I was just looking at the group as a whole.
Well, I better get comfy in the lupus form.
I guess you do, yeah.
To be fair, with the amount you've spoken about eating vermin, you probably are the most comfortable in that form out of all of
Yeah,
us.
not the worst person for this to happen to.
You have.
No.
I assumed he was eating vermin before his first change even happened.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Like, that was just a pre-werewolf thing.
And Jake, you can smell things better now, and you can hear them better, so that's nice.
Yeah, plus...
And you have better eyesight, of course, because it's dark, and your eyes are better suited to the dark in wolf form, so that's nice, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's leading you through the forest into basically a small clearing, and in the clearing there is in fact a teepee set up. And what am I doing? There we go. And it smells delicious from in there. It's gonna be delicious in there. Look, the best meal you've had in a week.
Oh, thank goodness.
That does actually look really nice.
A nice fire. It's the warmest you've been in a week. There are blankets in there.
Thank you.
Good night. I'll see you in the morning.
Good night.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm gonna at least throw a blanket over Jake so he can turn back to human.
Indeed.
I'm probably just gonna stay in the wolf form since all the fur makes it warmer, even warmer.
Yeah, there are blankets, and they are multicolored blankets because these are native blankets. They have apparently whatever this sept is. It's a sept of it seems to be the Galestalker tribe. So yeah, natives. You would know, Miranda, that their totem spirit is in fact the north wind itself. So
Sounds loud.
sounds cold too.
I guess. Yeah, I guess Miranda is just gonna try and, once everyone's inside,
Yep.
she's just gonna sit at the entrance of the teepee and just listen.
Well,
Try and see if she can get a better read on what this place is.
it is. You're not in Kansas anymore, or New York for that matter.
Definitely not. Yeah.
You will hear the typical night sounds of a Canadian forest. Canada is pretty large, so you can be anywhere from the Arctic Circle to close to the border to the US somewhere in the south. It's a really huge place. And there
Big
can be
country.
snow
Sense.
and forest anywhere.
Yeah. Canada is like a wasteland of forest with 2 big cities in it.
Three. Yeah, Montreal counts too. Though I guess Montreal is second. Vancouver counts too, definitely. Yeah.
I guess, is there anything...
Like a line of cities, and then as like a mega city, and then just...
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's also British Columbia.
Yeah, that's basically it.
Is there anything people want to do before we wake up tomorrow?
Nope.
Nope.
I
Everybody
guess
just wants to go to sleep.
Yes, we could. This may be a better time to, if we're going to rack up rage, just to get one more dot this night.
Oh yeah, we can see the moon now, right?
Yeah, they're fast clouds, but you can see the half moon between them every once in a while.
I guess I'll howl then and get my willpower back.
Yeah, same. Oh.
Oh, we get willpower back. Oh, you get willpower back. That's different. Yeah. I'll
'Cause my
gain a
thing.
rage.
Oh, is this gonna be some? There we go.
My
I
bad.
was just gonna play that, but
The sounds of the Canadian wilderness.
yes.
Quack.
Yeah, you'll also hear the occasional owl and fox and other things out there.
Man, considering we're out in the wilderness, good thing I got a bunch of survival.
It is. It is a good thing.
Was
You
that
can
one
even
extra
tell
wish-
north from south and everything by looking at the stars. And, okay, that way is north, that way is south, east, west, got you. I know exactly how. And, in fact, if you want to make... This is going to be a bit more difficult as a survival check, I'm going to say. But if you can score 5 successes on it while looking at the stars, I can give you a rough estimate about how far north and latitude and longitude. Star gazing.
I don't really care that much.
Nope.
I guess. I'm
You
too
won't be able
busy.
to tell any of us it anyway.
I'm too busy being angry at myself for how big of a fuck up that was.
Yep, that makes sense. That makes complete sense. Fenris is probably displeased at the moment. Speaking of which, your ban, you will only recover 1 single willpower point at the start of the next session. Lucky for you.
Understandable.
How did you recover the willpower again? What are you doing? How by howling at the moon?
Happened?
Yeah, howling at the moon.
Oh, you can
Yeah, I
do that
have the
too.
same.
Okay, maybe you
Have the
can.
same.
Let me show you. I'll tell you. It's like
Willpower.
weekend. The moon
Oh,
inspires
right.
you more than it does other werewolves. The first time you howl at the moon on any given night, you may restore a point of superficial willpower damage.
Fair. I forgot that you had that particular merit. Yeah, because otherwise you can't, right? Yeah, that's true. All right, so everybody's gonna go to sleep and sleep for a while then.
I'm first gonna eat.
Oh
No,
yes,
no,
you're
and then
first.
sleep.
That's a good idea, honestly. Like, just
Assuming we're all gonna eat.
fill your bellies. Yeah, some of you are eating more sloppily than others. Hi, Jake.
Hi.
We
We're
don't want
giving
any-
Jake a separate bowl. He's not allowed to just dunk his face in the hot pot.
Put the snoot in. Just whoop.
So that everyone's trying to hold him back. No, Jake, no, we're getting you bowl.
That's awesome.
At the very least, I know for a fact that Jake has learned something this session, which means extra experience for me.
And you know what, Miles and Miranda? There isn't even one ATM around here where you could withdraw some cash for Jake to buy some new clothes.
No,
No.
but if there's any food left over, Miranda will get a bowl of that and just kind of leave it as an offering outside to whatever spirits are nearby. This is a way of trying to bridge the gap of a glass walker in the middle of a fucking forest.
That makes
Oh.
sense.
That's
Yeah.
a very Scandinavian thing to do.
You're far away from the city now, Glasswalker.
Yeah, but spirits are spirits. Gotta make offerings.
The fun part is, given how many Glasswalkers are in New York, and if this is how they do their rite of passage, most Bognors and Glasswalkers will have to survive in the wild somehow away from the big city, which is honestly a pretty brutal test for them,
Yeah.
isn't it?
But
It's
it makes
the
makes you-
worst environment they can do a test in.
Hey, it just makes you appreciate all those bodegas when you get back home.
Yeah.
It does. It does.
Isn't like the point of this test? It's basically sink or swim.
Yep.
Yeah, but then
So
there's
this-
sink or swim to people who have never been near water.
Look, that means it's a really good test for finding out who's strong and who's weak.
Now
Yeah.
it's about time to be a city Black Fury with no survival.
Temperatures are plummeting, my friends, because
It looks like
we
Jake's
are in
gonna
the
have to
Arctic.
carry the survival here in this group.
It's fine.
It's great to be in Canuckia, isn't it?
Canuckia, yeah.
Yeah. Best place in the world.
In Canada land.
You are not gonna get a whole lot of sleep, to be honest, this night. Maybe just a few hours, actually. At about... You have no idea what time it is, unless one of you has a watch, which you might. Of course,
Maybe you could tell looking at the sky. Like,
you also don't know what time zone you're in. Canada has 4 of them.
shit.
It's fair. I've got my phone. Like I've still got my cell phone. It's one of the big ones. Remember the the heavier one?
Absolutely.
But it does have the time on it. It won't have adjusted, and I don't have a signal, but it will have the time.
Yep, it will. It will have the New York time on it. Absolutely. Yeah. So it's sometime in the middle of the night. Who knows? Small time of survival checks can find out what time it is of night as well, as you judge by how far the moon has gone and whatnot.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and do that actually.
But you
The
will
only one who
hear.
can.
You will hear the howl. And Miranda, who is nothing if not your expert on rituals and such among your own people, will know that this is in fact a howl of mourning.
Someone's died.
Yep.
Oy. Oh, by the way, I just realized something. It says social test limited to wolves and Garu. You're all Garu, so I could theoretically talk to you.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what we
No,
said.
Okay then.
Can we or can we not talk to someone in lupus form?
It says we can communicate.
You will understand by body language and the growls
Yeah,
and
I
snarling
figured.
and all that.
But like,
Yeah.
not perfectly, but like partially.
The howl will
I
pitch
try-
over a little bit, and you will now be hearing a different type of howl. It's a howl of calling the pack.
I guess it's time. I guess I.
Try doing
Well,
awareness
you're
to
not
track
part
where
of
it's
the
coming
pack.
from.
What pack are you in? This is some
Oh, yeah,
other
sorry.
pack doing calling the pack.
Oh yeah, sorry. Never mind. Misinterpreted.
You
Sorry.
have not been called. Miranda
try
will
to-
know this, if nothing else.
Yeah.
Because of your high occult.
It was one of the things. Can I get an awareness of like how far away it is?
It's close by. There's gotta be.
Close
there-
by.
Yeah. You're not very far from whatever cairn there is here.
Okay. If people have slept through it, I'll let them sleep through it. But otherwise, if people are awake, I'll just say, "Oh, sounds like someone's died."
Ah.
It's gonna take a little while before the howling ends after a little while. And then there's maybe another hour or so before the warden shows up again and just opens the way to the teepee that you're sitting in and come out. That's all he says.
All right.
Yes,
Bryce
people
just,
step out.
Rub her eyes and just okay.
Yep.
I'm
Yeah,
still in uniform. I'm just gonna, yeah.
Everyone steps out.
Indeed. And you're going to be confronted by not one, but 5, for simplicity's sake here, because I don't think you're going to have time to take in all their features and so on. The elders.
My God, he's multiplying.
What was that?
Quadruples.
My God, he's multiplying.
Yes.
I'm doing mitosis.
What gift gives him that ability?
He's
want that
casting
one.
mirror. Wait, run to the
Anyway, 5 sept leaders, yeah, they have blankets, long hairs in braids. They have they're basically full regalia of Native Americans, and the one of them is painted, has his face painted, and he is stepping forth to you. Let's see who can discern what is what here. I feel like oh, I guess it's gonna be Miranda again. She knows everything about the ways of the people, don't you?
She's got an understanding. She doesn't know everything. She's still
No.
learning.
This is probably the Arun of the elders, and a high-ranking one, judging by the glyphs that are carved into his skin, and he has Garu glyphs, absolutely. And he's stepping up towards you, and he is not looking happy at all. You are no longer welcome among us. Our spirits have cried out to us in the night. Our pups are dead, murdered by your people. By all the customs of the people, we are no longer obliged to complete your rite. The fact that you are pups protects you, however, for we may not kill you for your elders' transgressions. Therefore, you are cast out of this cairn. Do not return, for if you do, you will no longer be protected by the litany.
Citrus man.
It's gonna be a long walk back to New York.
I guess that
It's
is
time
how
for
you
Jake to
find
scurry
yourself.
on off now.
What was that?
Time for Jake to scurry on off now.
Yeah.
with the rest of
So
y'all.
I guess
Well, because as
that
far as I'm
is-
aware, that was a very formal, official thing. That wasn't just like them trying to scare us. They cited case law,
Yes,
the
they did.
equivalent. Yeah. So that wasn't them trying to scare us or intimidate us. That was them like, okay, something's changed and we're no longer welcome. We need to leave.
In this case, it's more Bryce, actually, because you are the one with the politics, aren't you? Wits and politics. And with taking half of 3, yeah, they have cited everything correctly. All the Garou laws that you've been taught by the Black Furies have been upheld here. Some kind of outrage have happened. Apparently, the best to you, what you understand from this, Bryce, is, oh, so this Sept was doing an exchange with the Sept of the Green, so the Sept of the Green was going to do a rite of passage for these Galestalker pups, and now you're the pups here from the Sept of the Green, but now they think that the Sept of the Green has killed the Galestalker pups? Which is like a huge, that's a declaration of war, basically.
Yeah, that's bad.
That's very bad.
I
Huh.
think she's gonna look to the rest of the group. Yeah, we need to leave.
Afterwards, Jake just starts leading the group southeast.
Southeast.
Miranda is just going to, as she's traveling, because she's still in the Glabro
Glabro,
form,
yeah.
she's going to just try to not slow people down. She will activate, what's the ability called? Penumbral Senses, which she'll take some willpower damage. And just so she can start interacting with the spirit world while also traveling with people.
Yeah,
Trying not to slow them down as she tries to get information about what the fuck just happened, as I'm sure the spirits are quite excitable right now.
Jake will want to go to the southeast, and at this particular hour, the sun hasn't quite come up yet. It says 7 a.m. and the sun is going up, but that's not true. It's going to be like 8 or 9, because you're further north now. But you can tell by the stars and everything. Why don't we have difficulty 3, survival, and okay, fair enough. You're gonna succeed. It's
Yeah.
no, it's gonna be an intelligence survival, isn't it? I'm mean now, so
Oh,
3
shit.
successes. Ha!
Oh, and I need to do a separate test against the local gauntlet.
And also because the gauntlet is not strong out here because you're out in the wilds.
Okay, damn. Yeah, I
Boom.
know.
Yeah, okay, that's north, that's south, that's southwest, here southeast. Here we go. Yep. You're betting on the fact that you would be northwest of New York. That's a good bet, isn't it?
Yeah.
95% of Canada is northwest of New York. Of course.
Look, the worst that can happen is that we end up somewhere else in the United States.
Yep. Also, depending on where you are, let's see now, who would know this? Academics. Anyone with academics here? Miranda has academics. Oh, look at that.
That was for the gauntlet, but you said it was weak, so I'm assuming that's enough.
Yeah, that's enough. Absolutely. Because you're definitely in the wild out here.
Yeah, she's got 2 points of academics and a specialty in research.
Yeah, we're not doing research at the moment, but
Yeah, that's not going to apply.
you will know this much from your studies, because Intelligence Academics 6 divided in 2 is a 3, so you will know, okay, most of the, shall we say, white Canadian population live in the south, close to the American border. These guys were natives, and he said they were Cree, which means that you could be anywhere from close to the American border, not that close necessarily. I don't know if much about Native American tribes in Canada. To, well, at least you know that you're probably not in the Arctic, because that's not where Cree live. That's where Inuit live. So that's a good thing. But do you guys know how big Canada is?
It's fucking massive.
I think it's the size of Delaware. I think it's fine.
Yeah, it's probably just the size of Delaware. Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
You do know with
You
your...
could walk it in like a week.
Maybe, if you're lucky. But yeah, we're starting to walk, aren't we? And we'll see
Would
how...
we have asked them anything before we left? Or
No,
was
they
it just
were
like
they were not open for discussion, my friends. They were not open for discussion at all.
Would we go back through the moon bridge?
No. The moon bridge
That's a temporary thing.
Yeah, and it's not open at the moment. At least not where you are. So if there is a moon bridge, it's not here. But I will say like this. Let's see now. Maybe you're lucky. Maybe you are just the right path. Maybe it's Jake's sharp nose and pathfinding skills. But I think that just about the time when you're gonna start seeing a pink shade on the eastern sky, you will in fact be getting closer to a road. An actual road for cars.
I want to ask, I'm just a pet dog. No leash.
Jake, you guys have now been walking for about 3 miles through the snow. And,
Get comfy. We're going to be doing this for 5 bajillion more.
Yeah. And how cold are we here?
I can bring out. Well,
It'll go
continue.
quicker if we build a sled and then Jake can pull us.
I would rather fight all of you than do that.
I was more thinking I can get a bandana or a scarf or something from the backpack and just
Yep,
tie
you're
it
gonna
around
need
Jake's
it.
neck to kind of cover up the fact that he's a wolf.
You're gonna
Without
need
a
it.
leaf?
Let's see now here. We're cold here, though it's better when you are in lupus form. Let's see. You are gonna be...
Yeah, I do have a winter jacket, but I don't know if it's a minus 26 Celsius winter jacket.
So I would like to
That's
have
rough
a
even for me.
stamina survival check from Miles and Bryce, really. You are in cold conditions now. Very freezing cold conditions.
Stamina and...
Survival,
Oh, I have 0 in survival. So that's
right?
just...
You're the best at survival.
I have 1 die.
Oh fuck!
You three are going to fucking die here.
Hopefully my jacket will help me a little bit, but we'll see.
I'm
Any
sure it's gonna be
modifiers?
fine.
You are not fine, dude.
Oh! I'm not okay.
You can transform. Like,
I
you don't
think
need to
you're
go
gonna
full
need to
wolf. Glabro's protecting me currently.
Yep. Most definitely. This is brutal cold here. We're all gonna be shivering, that's for sure. Miles is just absolutely shivering. I'm gonna give you some health damage from the cold. It's all superficial for now. Less so for... You have a... Oh, you had a sturdy jacket, so I'm gonna actually not give you all that damage, sorry. But it's gonna be some damage. 2 points of superficial for Miles. Bryce, 1 point maybe. Miranda is in Glabro. You're... I mean, you get to roll your survival stamina anyway. But you
Okay.
have
Or is 2 successes not enough?
Oh, you had 2 successes? It's gonna give
Or
you...
no, is like I take half for 2 successes.
Oh,
I've got 4
yeah,
dice
okay.
in stamina.
2
Isn't it
successes,
too
that's
bad,
gonna give
'cause
you 1 point, just superficial damage.
So I may as well roll then.
You feel the frostbite too. Yeah, you might as well.
This shouldn't be too bad. At least like it's daylight, the sun's out, and we're moving. It's not.
But yeah, but
worst
you
case
have
scenario.
you
It's
have you moved in minus 26 before?
Fucked. It's absolutely fucked.
It's cold. Or as we Canadians would say in these temperatures, cold enough for you yet, eh?
Mm. Even minus 15 without a proper jacket is rough.
Yeah.
Okay, so 3
Well,
successes.
At minus 15, Canadians will start wearing shorts.
I think the
3
coldest
successes
I've
is
ever
enough
felt
for
is
you
like,
to put up with it. Yeah.
I think the coldest I've ever felt was like minus 14 or something.
Yeah, minus 26 is decently cold. Decently cold. And there's going to be maybe some snow coming. Who knows? But not yet. So far, it's just the coldest. I don't think it's actually the coldest any of you have experienced because New York can get minus 26. It's not impossible. It's just very rare. Oh,
And there's
Yeah,
also
there's, like air conditioning and everything, and
yeah, there's a lot of heat sources in New York.
yes. You don't have to walk through it for... So, to translate to our American audience, this is minus 15 degrees Fahrenheit.
Oy.
Yep. Even the wolves are cold at this stage. And, yeah, everything is crystal around you. And every breath you take, it freezes your nose hairs. That's how cold it is.
every breath you take,
Every breath you take, yes. And that is...
every move you make. Sorry.
That is... You're going to come upon an actually paved road, and it stretches in some kind of north-southerly direction. There are wheel tracks on it, and I guess that's where we stop for now.
Fair enough.
And we're gonna say thank you to everybody who watched, and these poor pups are in Canada. But where in Canada, we don't know.
You cannot!
He keeps woofing. I don't know what to say.
I don't know what to say either. See you everybody in a week. Don't forget to follow the channel and subscribe and ring the bell and sacrifice to the Weaver spirit, because even when you're out in the wild, the Weaver spiders want some sacrifices.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough.